I was talking to her for a little bit, but then she's like, "It's nice to meet you, but I have to go." And she just shook my hand and left.
Wow.
I was just like,
made her nervous.
Wow.
I was just like, "Damn, you fried though."
Welcome back to No Filter Toronto. Today we have a special guest in the building. It's a male this time, ladies and gentlemen. This brother here is a creative director and influencer. He's got style, prestige. He is full of hair, and we want you to welcome him onto the show, Mr. D After Dark. Please welcome him onto the show, ladies. Yes.
Hey.
Sharp.
Yes.
The suit and the hat looking cute.
Fashionable.
What's going on, everybody?
We are blessed to have you in the building
Thank you.
today.
Yes.
Thank you.
How are you?
I'm doing very well. I'm blessed. Man, I
Good.
can't complain. I'm above the ground. I'm breathing. You know, God is good.
Amen.
Amen. Yes.
Yes.
So, you want to tell our viewers a little bit about yourself?
Oh yeah, sure. Where can I put it? I'm not a Toronto native.
No. So
No.
where are you from?
So I was born in Ottawa.
Okay.
I was born in Ottawa, and I've been living in Toronto for about 10 years.
Oh,
Yeah.
You're still fresh.
But the funny thing is, like, people from Toronto think I'm like from Toronto.
here.
See how like you were like, oh really? You know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So what made you grow your beard?
What made me grow my beard? I've been growing my beard on and off for the last 6 or 7 years.
Yeah.
And I was just like, you know what? Let me just give it a shot and just see how long I can get it. And it's been 2 years now since I've had my beard. I haven't shaved my face at all. Trim here and there.
Yeah.
But no, I love it. My wife loves it. Everybody loves it. I get flagged down from like everybody's like, hey, like how do you grow your beard? How do you do this? How do you do that? Like what products do you use? And I'm just like, it's more than just using products. There's a whole science to it. First things first, you got to make sure that you're really washing out your beard, and you're not using shampoo or conditioner. I get mad when people tell me that they use shampoo and conditioner in their beard, and I'm just like, come on, like that stuff is not good for you because your skin on your face and the skin on the top of your head is completely different, right? So your skin on the skin on your face, it's supposed to be exposed to sunlight and all those things, and then when you're putting in those harsh chemicals, you're actually stripping away the oils, the natural oils that are in there, and it causes your skin to break, crack, and then it could be bleeding, it can damage the follicles, and then you're gonna have hair falling out. It's the worst thing. So that's number one. Make sure you're using a proper beard wash. And then another thing to add too that I'm starting to put into my regimen of keeping my beard clean is using apple cider vinegar, which helps replenish the skin.
Yep.
Yeah.
What is that for their dreadlocks?
Yeah. So it's very important. The other thing too is making sure you properly moisturize your beard. So after you've washed it out, make sure you're using a proper beard oil. A lot of people say like what beard oil works for me, but I'm just like, well, it really depends on like what's your problem with your skin or your hair. So I have naturally oily skin, so I want to go with a lighter oil. And then I use beard balm. So I take like little drops of beard oil, rub it down into the skin and make sure that the skin is taken care of. And then I take some beard balm and then I put that in the beard and then I comb it out with a wooden comb. Not a metal pick, not a plastic comb, because a wooden pick. Like I'll tell you, and I'll tell you why.
Connecting to the earth.
The metal causes static. Same thing with the plastic, and plastic combs are made so cheap, right? So like the molds that they break them out of, like they have like little flaws in them, so they actually pull on your hairs. So with the wooden comb, it's made precisely. It also helps to spread the oils evenly because of the wood itself. And also it massages the skin to produce like more blood flow so you can actually grow more hair, like more beard.
Do you ever think of starting your own product for your beard?
I have thought about that, but how I'm actually attacking the market is completely different. I'm actually starting a company called Beardable, which I help men get the confidence by finding them the right product that suits their grooming needs. Because what I've understood is that every man is different in terms of their need when it comes to grooming. And so like I said, my skin is very oily, so I need a lighter beard. But then you have a guy who has like very dry skin, so you need something a little bit heavier, or you need something like, you know, he has a lot of split ends, and he has like, you know, like everything is different for every guy. So basically, I want to make a platform site that picks up on certain keywords to help find the right beard oil sourced from a manufacturer and have it sent directly to him via drop shipping.
Your beard is your bread and butter.
Yeah.
Well, one of them.
Yeah.
Have you ever done any of the challenges, like the glitter beard challenge?
No. I'm not putting none of that in my beard.
I said that,
man. I'm like,
No,
Because
no.
we have some glitter on set, you know.
To take that out?
I don't
Oh
think-
my
no,
gosh.
you would have to cut that.
So let's talk about your father. How was your relationship with him?
Did he
Did
influence
he influence this whole?
Well, the relationship with my dad, it's very interesting. I've always grown up with my father being like, I was always seen and never heard kind of thing. There's certain things that my dad didn't teach me about, like in terms of grooming. But like, I would say like from the time when my parents like split up, it was kind of hard. I was like angry with him because I'm just like, why would you leave? All that kind of stuff like that. And I remember when he left, I didn't see him until like about 10 years later. He got remarried, all that stuff like that. But over the years, like we talked, and you know, like sometimes we have our little hiccups, but we still work on building our relationship. Probably I would say about a month ago. About a month ago, I gave him a call, and I got married recently, and he didn't come to my wedding. Wow. But here's the thing, I just had to get it off my chest. I called him and I said, hey, Dad, like, you know, I forgive you. You know, like I was having all this stuff built up, you know, like, and I just told him like, I forgive you, and I just let it go. I just let it go. And for any of you out there that are watching, you know, like if you have any like deep down like hardness that you're feeling against like your folks that you felt that they've done you wrong, you know, don't hold it forever. You know, they're still like on this side of the ground, right? You know, you have the chance to just forgive them. I look at it like this. My mom always knew that I had a message to tell, and it's now coming out now. And this one word that always pops out for me is oracle. You know what an oracle is?
Yeah.
So oracle is somebody who has like a divine message, and I always feel that like, you know, I have a divine message to tell people that like, hey, you know, this is how we got to do things. This is how we have to change the world.
With all the things like you've been into, like you've been into creative arts, you've done painting, drawings, you've even played a couple of instruments, like jazz and saxophone.
Yeah.
Do you think that, like, say if a lot of black men were to kind of gauge themselves and kind of get themselves into activities like that more often, they would have a more promising future?
Definitely,
brighter future?
definitely. Because the thing is, the problem that we've been like us as black men that we've faced is that the media has always told us to be a certain way. Right, we have to have this super tough experience. We have to be rah. We have to be bad man, them kind of thing. That, right? You know, like you always. We always have like, but you know, like every minute, like I'm seeing. I turn on CP24. I turn on City TV News. I turn on CTV. It's always a black man, you know, always involved with a gunfight. He's either the one holding the gun or being shot down by the gun. Always like, you know, it's always a negative connotation. And like I told my wife, when like before we got married, I'm just like, I'm gonna prove to you how a black man does it. I'm gonna show you how a black man. I'm gonna show you how a black man does it. I'm gonna show you how a black man does it because because I don't ramp. I don't ramp.
Yes.
So
Well, talk about your wife.
Oh yeah, definitely.
right?
Yeah.
She makes you smile.
Oh yeah, man.
You know, I see you guys recently got married, and
Yeah.
congratulations.
Thank you.
Right?
Yes.
How did you guys meet? Like,
Okay, so how did we meet? I'm gonna give you the short story.
Yes,
So, are you guys familiar with the Harry Jerome Awards?
Yeah.
I heard of it.
Or it's part of
I
the
heard
like the
it.
Black Business Professional Association. So a friend of mine and I, we would sneak in every year to like just network with people. We never paid for a plate. We always sneak in every year.
Yeah.
And I remember it was April 25th, 2015. I remember the day very well. And April 25th, 2015. I will never forget that day. And we walked in there, we snuck in there, and there was one of the volunteers. She got us a table, and we sat down, and then he said, my friend, he saw somebody he knew, and then he went up to go and talk to her, and then he's like, "Hey, I want to introduce you to two ladies." So I met the two ladies, and then one of them was gonna be my wife. I just didn't know it, and I just saw her, and I was like, damn, like.
Love at first sight, lady.
Who are you? But it wasn't so much like love at first sight, because I was talking to her for a little bit, but then she's like, "It's nice to meet you, but I have to go," and she just shook my hand and left.
Wow.
I was just like,
You made her nervous.
Wow.
I was just like, damn, you fine though. And then like I saw her on a few occasions throughout that year. Like I saw her, like one time she came to my church for this Eric Thomas thing, and I saw her like at one point. I wanted to go and talk to her, but she was dating somebody at the time. But I still wanted to go and talk to her and say hi, you know. But she had to go again, and then the following year, I snuck into the Harry Jerome Awards again, and then I saw her, and I'm like, Casey, hey, like, you know, I want to get a picture with you, you know, and like I got a picture with her. And still, I didn't know that, you know, like we were gonna like hit it off or anything like that. But anytime when she came up in conversation, and she always put me in pause. It's like I've never had a woman put me in pause. I never had anybody put me in pause. And then
You met your match.
Lots of words, you have no.
Cat got your tongue kind of thing. Oh, I'm nervous, baby. I don't know what to say to you.
just tongue tied the whole thing. But still, like she had to go. Like she had to dip and leave. And I'm just like, what's going on? Like I'm just like, come on. I'm like just like I'm
hard
just
to get.
no, not even hard to get. Like her side of the story, like what she told me, she's like, every time I see you, you're always looking good, you're always dressing nice, you always look like you're that player type. And I'm just like, what? I heard this after the fact when we got together. But so the following year, I was trying to get into the Harry Jerome Awards again.
For a third time?
Yeah, I know, a third time. And the thing is, they switched locations. They were at the International Center instead of the Metro Toronto Convention Center downtown. So they're all the way in Mississauga, and I'm all the way downtown. And I'm telling my friend, I'm like, hey, call Casey. Do you have her number? Because I'm trying to get my way in. But she wasn't part of the BBPA anymore. But it's so funny. I shot a video. I posted it on Facebook the next day. And guess who messaged me on Facebook?
The wife.
And she's like this. She's like, hey, how you doing? I've never seen you before. I was like, I'm like, Casey, you know me. I meet you every time at this one place at one time, and like, she's like, oh, okay. And she's like, okay, you know what? Like, let's collaborate. I like the work that you're doing. And I'm like, all right. So we ended up collaborating. You know, we hit it off pretty well, and there's one day what we called the day of 24 hours. So we spent 24 hours together, just working together. So it started from like early in the morning. We go to shoot a collaborative film project that we're working together. And then I'm helping her film this one interview with these. She's interviewing this guy for her business. Then she had a meeting, and she drove me all the way there. I slept in her car while she was at the meeting, and then she's like, hey, you work so hard, I want to take you out and treat you for dinner. And then we were just there, and we're editing, and she's sitting on the other side of the table, and I'm looking at her, I'm just like, I like you, but something's different. You know what I mean? Like, you know, it's like somebody just sprinkled some angel dust, or I just got hit with Cupid's arrow. But I'm just looking at her different, but I don't think think so. I'm not too sure, man. You know, I don't want to be like drinking in my feelings, but it was there. And then we went from that to then going to the gym. We went to the gym, and then she had to go and rent a car for somebody, and then we had to drive from. Like, I'll tell you, like, we were bouncing back and forth all over town. And then she was hungry. And I'm just like, okay, you're tired? I'll drive. So I drove from Malton all the way to Eglinton West, Eglinton and Marley Avenue to get some jerk chicken. Because she loves jerk chicken. You know, them Rastaman is just chopping up the jerk chicken in the thing. And then... And then here's the thing, like I didn't know, she said jerk chicken, that's what I read it as, but I didn't know she wanted jerk chicken and rice, and she like sauce in the rice. But I got the jerk chicken anyway, she just ate it anyways. And no rice, yeah. And then I turned the car around, and I'm driving the car so I can drop myself off home, and I said some stupid remark, and she's like, I'm gonna bite you. I'm like, fine, man, techie. And then she takes my hand, and then she does this. And like, our hands are clasped together, and I'm just like, it's weird, but it's okay. It's weird, but it's okay.
That was the bite, eh?
It's weird. It's weird.
What clench your favor now, though?
It's weird, but it's okay. And then we stopped by our house, and then I stopped by my house, and then I was like, you know what? You want to take a walk? This is 3 a.m. now. We take a walk in my neighborhood, and we're walking, and we're holding hands, and then it just ended off with a kiss. And then
So sweet.
2 weeks later, I remember it was July 8th, 2017. That's when we got together, and we were officially a couple. And I'll tell you something. In our relationship, like, we've been through ups and downs, smiles and frowns.
How long has it been?
It's been like, we actually got married before our first year anniversary. We got married on July. Yeah, we got married. So we got together July 7th, 2017, and then we got married on. Sorry, did I say no? Sorry,
okay.
July 8th, 2017, and then we got married on July 7th, 2018.
Yeah.
So
It was
How far in did you propose?
6 months.
Wow. And you planned a wedding in 6 months.
No, we didn't plan a wedding in 6 months. We were supposed to just go to City Hall and just get it done and over with. But it just turned into this big. It just turned into this big wedding, and then what was it? Probably like 3 months till like our wedding day. Like then people started like reaching out, and they were just like, "Hey, like we'll help you with your wedding," and like it went from like 30 people to 60 people to 150 people. To friends and family, and like I don't know how we paid for it.
That's
but
a beautiful thing, though. Who cares how you paid for it? You're married. You're happy.
Oh yeah, like I'm definitely happy, and like people were in for a treat the day like when I was saying my vows, because I wrote them last minute, but I had the groomsmen participate in doing the actions with it, and everybody was like, nobody saw it coming. I had this stuff written in a book. My brother was at the end. There was like 6 groomsmen. So he had the book, and then when it was ready to take my vows, he took it out of his back pocket and tossed it to every guy. And then I took it out, and then I remember I said, I don't remember all the lines, but I said, Casey, in the sight of God and all these people. And one of my boys said, yo, Janua. And then I said, I was talking about for rich or for poor, and I was talking about like, yo, you're not about to worry and stress. And all the guys were like this and doing all the actions. Everything was choreographed. Fun. Like we went in. Marriage has made me a better person. It's made me a better man. And especially like Casey, she has pushed me to become better. Right. You know, it's like she's always saw like the good in me. But she's always been like that person to be like, hey, there's always better for you. So it goes a long way.
Well, Deangilo, it was a pleasure of having you today. And you didn't even touch your wine, but let's do a little toast because I like the fact that you've been, you're doing
awesome.
so well.
Thank you.
And congratulations. And let's do a toast. And we wish you all the best, Deangilo.
All the best.
And thank you for
You're
coming
awesome,
through.
bro.
Thank you.
You're awesome.
Thank you.
Yeah, keep up the great work.
Thank you.